General Assembly. The delegate from Petersburg, Delegate Aird.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise for an introduction.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker and ladies and gentlemen of the House, today we are joined by the East Coast, Tidewater, and Howard Ball Central and Western Virginia chapters of the Tuskegee Airmen, and I'd ask that they please stand. Mr. Speaker, the Tuskegee Airmen was a group of African-American pilots, navigators, maintenance and support staff instructors, and all the personnel who kept the planes in the air during World War II. Over 15,000 individuals were involved with the Airmen. World War II was the first time African Americans served in any combat capacity in United States history. This was because, up until that time, African Americans were targeted by a biased report claiming they could not operate complex military equipment and were not brave under fire and were incapable of flying airplanes. However, two black pilots in 1939, Dale L. White and Chauncey E. Spencer, made a historic flight with a borrowed plane that had been malfunctioning equipment during bad weather. This endeavor caught the attention of then Senator Harry S. Truman, and the Civilian Pilot Training Act program was passed, which designated 6 black schools to instruct students how to fly. The Tuskegee Airmen accomplished amazing feats during and after World War II. Their history-making performances during World War II, while slow in receiving credit, have seen a gradual rise in national or world accounting. A significant number of the Tuskegee Airmen had successful careers in the military following World War II, to include reaching field grade and general officer rank. Many of the enlisted Tuskegee Airmen became senior non-commissioned officers. The Tuskegee Airmen who chose to leave the military soon after World War II became doctors, lawyers, teachers, and other skilled professionals that enhanced affirmative changes in America. Today, these World War II heroes are frequently invited and honored at military, educational, veterans, and business organizations to share their knowledge and experiences. And Mr. Speaker, I'd like to personally recognize a living legend that we have here with us today, one of the original Tuskegee Airmen at 93 years young, Dr. Harry Quinton of Williamsburg, Virginia. And Mr. Speaker, I just want to be very clear in noting that we have a lot of individuals that are here today as part of the Tuskegee Airmen group who are notable in their own right and historical in their own right. And we would be here all day if I went through all of them. But I do also want to recognize my constituent, Dr. Portia Errol Taylor, who enlisted in the Tuskegee Airmen Reserve Officer Training Corps back in 1946, who is also here and present with us today. And Mr. Speaker, this body adopted a resolution to commend the Tuskegee Airmen on the 4th Tuesday of every March, designating that day as Tuskegee Airmen Commemoration Day, to be created for their accomplishments, contributions, and sacrifices, all of which helped to win World War II and bring about racial harmony and equality in this country. So if you will, and please join me and so many other members here in this body in giving them a warm house welcome.
Delegate Air, thank you very much for that great introduction. We have had about as special of a day, I think, as you can have today, but I do want to welcome all the Tuskegee Airmen. I've had the honor, and truly the honor, of chairing the World War II Commission. And I know some of the Tuskegee Airmen have been actually at some of those events, but their service was absolutely incredible. So thank you, obviously, for that incredible introduction. The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Corey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise for 2 introductions and an announcement, and maybe by the time I finish the